All right. I'm trying to check to be sure I have a voice. All right. Okay. I'm trying to check to be sure I have a voice. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to another edition of Import Export Platform Facebook Live from 3 Thinkers Trade Academy. My name is Dele Ayemibo, and we'll continue our conversation from where we left off in the morning. In the morning, we were discussing starting and managing export business, and we touched on the challenges that people face in trying to do export business. And the challenges they face can easily be taken care of by just abiding by some principles. And this is part 94, and I'm talking about the principle of export business success. Principle of export business success. Like I said, and I've said this severally, experience is peculiar, principles are universal. If as human beings, in whatever it is we do, we can just learn and take time to live based on principles, sincerely, we'll be able to fix a lot of problems without stress. But you know the challenge we have as humans? More often than not, for one reason or the other, we just sideline principles and think we can just do things the way we want to do it. Someone said you cannot be a good lawyer, a good doctor by default. You can't be a good business person by default. You must have principles that guide whatever it is that you do. And sincerely, as long as you guide yourself based on those principles, it becomes a lot easier for you to make the desired progress. I've spoken about a lot of principles so far. Let me just do a recap of some of these principles. I've spoken about the principle of the law of gestation. I've spoken about the law of mental labor. I've spoken about the law of promotion. I've spoken about the law of vision. I've also spoken about the law of gift deployment. Gift deployment. Gift deployment. The law of credibility. The law of teamwork. The law of seasonal cycle. The law of creative process. The law of first season. The law of daily practice. The law of the set hill. The law of opportunity. The law of soul prosperity. The law of use. And the law of stability in crisis. Circumstances are often overrated by humans. And more often than not, the reality we face are not the truth about us. And as we face challenges in business, we should be asking the right question. What kind of question do you ask when you are faced with challenges in business? It can be good. So instead of asking the question what, people ask the question who. And sincerely, as long people ask the question who instead of asking the question what. And more often than not, something happened recently. A particular person exported product out of Nigeria to a buyer in the UK, a buyer in UAE actually. It was a charcoal transaction. Number one, this particular individual did not see the charcoal. He arranged for people to help him source for the charcoal, and he believed they would do what is right. I don't even have issue with his belief. He didn't see it. Now, I worked on that project with them. I got the buyer. So I went to UAE twice. And the reason for going to UAE actually is just to be sure that, look, if there are issues, I want to see it myself. It's so interesting that this exporter, who was in Lagos and never saw the item that was shipped, believed what they told him in the field. I went to UAE and saw the product and told her about the challenges, the issues with the product. He didn't believe. He didn't believe, and he worked with us on the project. you know, I was just thanking God that I went to UAE really twice because of this issue. But what I'm trying to say is that when there are challenges, instead of asking question, what happened? How do we fix it? Many people are asking the question, who has done this? Who has done this? And this is very important, please, that we begin to look at principles. Principles are like laws. And because they are like laws, if I do it, it's cause and effect. This is the result I will get. If I don't do it, I will also not get the right result. So many will not do it, what they need to do, and expect to get the result. But instead of attributing the challenges they face to inefficiencies, incompetence, inadequacy on their part, they attribute it to someone else. If I don't do it. So these principles apply not just in business, not just in business, not just in export, in business generally. In business generally. So I will continue in that line of thought, discussing the principles. Come to think of this, for those that read the Bible and believe in the stories or the writings in the scriptures, you will realize that when the world was being created, the world was without form and void. But the first thing that was created was light. It could have been something else. It could have been the sea. It could have been the firmament. It could have been the plant. Why was it that it was light that was created? Because light makes it clearer. You know, when you want to solve a problem, what you want to get is light. Light makes it clearer. The knowledge you get gives you light and bring into proper perspective the challenges and give you insight on how to solve the problem. So having knowledge and ensuring that you meditate more on that knowledge to have understanding of that knowledge makes a lot of difference in our life and in what we do. Make a lot of difference in our life and in what we do. So, so today we'll be looking at law of true self. Now, look at what this law says, and then we apply it to our business as exporters. A great wealth in the hand of a poor soul will make him to lose himself and only return to his true self when he has diminished the wealth to the level of his soul. This is very similar to what I call the law of soul prosperity that we discussed earlier. In the sense that you can rise beyond the true self. The true self is based on the vision you have that have become flesh in you. Asking questions is so critical. Working at whatever it is, a challenge you are facing, and applying principle to solve them. Understanding yourself. Thinking through about the problem. Having a mental picture of it. So it's really not about cash first, but about the personality driving it and the ideology and mindset of that personality. The law of true self. And that's why some people cannot manage a big transaction, a big ticket transaction, or a big business. Why? True self. True self. True self. A great wealth, a great business, a great opportunity in the hand, a great export opportunity in the hand of a poor soul will not be successful. Because of the way he reasons, because of the picture he sees, and that affects the decisions that he takes. The law of planning. The law of planning. He who fails to plan in life, in business, in ministry is planning to fail. How do you plan your export transaction? How do you plan export transaction? You can't plan when you don't have information. You need knowledge to plan. You need knowledge to plan. You will plan based on the information available that you have. Because you are now able to anticipate. And you know what? Export is actually a process. Someone said export is a process and not a transaction. Export is a process and not a transaction. And I agree with that completely. I agree with that completely. That export is a process. So when I have learned and understood completely the process, I can plan. I can plan against unforeseen circumstances. I can plan in respect to the product. I can plan in respect to the pricing. I can plan with respect to packaging, promotion, payment, purchasers. I can easily plan because I have the right information. Planning is so critical. How will you ship goods out of the country and you're just booking for booking for the shipment when the good is already in Lagos and it's coming from outside Lagos and it took him 3-4 days to get to Lagos? Planning, planning, planning. Planning, planning, planning. He who fails to plan is basically planning to fail. You're planning your product, your production. You're planning your paperwork, your documentation. You're planning your marketing, promotion, and purchasers. You're planning for your payment and anticipating payment default risk. Planning, planning, planning. Planning, planning, planning. Planning, planning, planning. Sorry. So how much planning is going into the work you're doing? How much planning is going into it? What I realize is that a lot of people that have issue in their export transaction never plan. Never have a plan, a schedule of how they want to go about the transaction. Strategize. Strategize. Put pen to paper. Call all the stakeholders involved, the forwarder, the warehousing agent, the truck, the producer, if you are not the one producing the product, and ensure everybody is aware and agree on time and how we will move from phase to phase to phase to phase. It's a big challenge in our environment, really. It's a very big challenge. People just decide to blame other people for their lack of planning. And even sometimes when your plan is good, you also have contingency plan. For example, you are trying to get a truck and you're talking to just one truck driver. If it doesn't show up the money you need to do that thing, then you realize that it was unwise for you to plan with just one driver. Why? They can disappoint. They can disappoint. So what planning do you have for the logistics? And what contingency plan do you have in case the person you are relying solely upon fails? Plan, plan, plan. Plan, plan, plan. He who fails to plan is planning to fail. Plan for your documentation. How long will it take for each of those documents to be available, to be ready? Who is issuing it? What is it costing? How long will it take for you to get it from them? Plan, plan, plan. How much of planning is going into getting your documentation, doing your NXP? Discussing principle for me is critical. And I'm taking time to discuss it because it will help us solve a lot of problems. You will face challenges in the course of doing the business. And these challenges can only be fixed. These challenges can only be fixed if you apply principles. There will be challenges. That is the lot of any business. And you know what? There's really nothing you can do about it. There's really nothing you can do about it. There will be challenges. That is given. That is our lot as business people. There is nothing you'll be able to do against challenges. But there is everything you can do against the impact on the challenges of the business. There is everything you can do against being able to anticipate these challenges and then fix the challenges. There are lots you can do with that. There are lots you can do with that. There are lots you can do on that. Anticipating the challenges and fixing it. Like I said, most of our problem, most of our challenges are basically due to lack of planning and putting contingency plan in place. Like I said, plan your logistics, plan your production, plan your procurement, plan your paperwork, plan everything. And for the one that a disappointment can be too dangerous, have a contingency plan. Have a contingency plan. With a contingency plan, you are basically saying, we are ready. Whichever direction, you will be able to handle it. You will be able to handle it. You will be able to handle it. Plan, plan, plan. The next law as I round off today is the law of usefulness. The law of usefulness. A life that is devoid of value addition to humanity is deemed useless and therefore fit to be wasted and good for nothing. So when you're doing a business, what value is that product adding? Are you excited about the value your product or service is adding, or about the money you will make? Or about the money you will make? Are you only keen about the money? Are you only keen about the money? If you have a vision that will be enduring, it must be problem solving and people oriented. As long as what I do is solving problem for humanity, I will remain in business. Remember, I've talked about the goal and purpose of a business. The goal is profitability. The purpose is creating value. The goal is profitability. The purpose is creating value. The question is this: what value is the product creating? This actually lay credence to value addition. How many people is it creating value for? Look, if you sell a product that creates value for only few people, like selling raw materials that will only be bought by few people in few countries, you won't be able to command a lot of price. You'll be able to sell at a good price if it's going to be demanded by few people in few countries. For example, cashew nut, India, Vietnam, maybe Brazil. Very raw cashew nut. Few people, few country. Raw cashew nut, few people, few country. Cashew kernel or roasted cashew nut. Almost every human being will eat cashew nut, and that will be in almost every country. Can you see the difference? The law of usefulness. How useful is the product you want to export, and how many countries are interested in buying? How many countries are looking at buying? How many countries will like to buy that product? The country that would like to buy the product is so important, because it's only those that are buying that will eventually be able to give you value. These principles apply not just in business, not just in sorry, I'm having a replay here just to ensure that I don't have myself talking, and so I check from time to time that voice is heard, and I'm not just talking to myself. So how useful is the product you are selling? How useful is it? How many people is it useful to in the world? How many people is it useful to in the world? It's so important that Africa think of value addition. How useful is the product? And to how many people are you going to be able to sell this product? Is it just one person? If it's just one person, sorry. Just two people, just three people, just one company, just two company, just three company. That is too small. That is too few. That makes it very difficult for you to make the desired progress. That is too small. That is too few. That makes it very difficult for you to make the desired progress. You know what? The usefulness of you or your company is dependent on how much value you have added to that product, how much value that company is creating for the world. How useful are you to yourself? to the world around you. Your usefulness is so critical. And your usefulness is defined by the value you are creating in the world. A life that is not creating value in the world is a useless life. A business that is not creating value in the world is a useless business. How important a business is, it depends on how useful the product that the business produces. And that's also what determines how much the business is going to be able to sell the product. So sell a product or manufacture a product, work on products that have market in many, many, many countries. Sell a product that have market in many, many, many countries. Sell a product that have market in many, many, many countries. If it's going to, that means that product must have a retail leg. That means people must be able to buy it in retail form. That means you have many people showing interest in buying the product. I'll continue tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, I don't want to put morning. Morning on Saturday has become very difficult for me. But I'm hopeful that I'll be able to do something in the evening on Saturday. Thank you very much for listening again today. My name is Dele Ayemibo, and this is Import Export Platform, Facebook Live from 3thinkPest Trade Academy. Remember, this video go on our YouTube channel, 3thinkPest TV. Please remember to subscribe. Let me just drop the YouTube channel for you. 3thinkPest TV, youtube.com/3thinkPest TV. 3thinkPest, and that's our YouTube channel. We will appreciate you visiting the channel. We will appreciate you dropping your comment. We will appreciate subscribing to the channel. We will appreciate clicking on the notification bell. And we will appreciate sharing. Thank you very much. Have a very good evening and a nice weekend. Bye for now.